Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, we have a lot of cool stuff to go ahead and talk about. As you guys might see from the decor, I am back in Dubai right now, going to Singapore very soon. But of course, I have to keep you guys updated with the most recent news. And for today, we surely have a couple of very interesting pieces. One of the things I wanted to showcase to you guys just briefly is the fact that the Bitcoin exchange reserves are still going down. This basically means that if we look at exchanges, the amount of Bitcoin that they hold keeps going down and more people are storing this money on their own. They're storing their Bitcoin in their own accounts. As you guys have most likely heard from my earlier videos, the less money there is on exchanges, the less selling pressure there is. So this is good in every way, shape, or form. And then guys, we also like to sometimes look at the Fear and Greed Index just to get some sort of rough idea / sketch of what the crypto market is thinking right now. The number is 24. It is in extreme fear like it was yesterday. And we're actually doing quote unquote worse than last week. In terms of liquidations and actual price action, last 24 hours has not been too crazy. It's actually interesting to see that XRP has the highest liquidations in the entire crypto market right now, and that's mostly because XRP has had the most crypto price movements. They've literally been going up and down like crazy over the last couple of days, and actually over the last couple of weeks they've been performing really well. Now, before we get into my altcoin news, I just want to quickly give you guys some insights on Bitcoin. So why is it going down? Why is it in this oversold territory? Why are many people selling? Even though a lot of these, I guess, insights or analytics that we usually cover showcase bullish signs. Here's an opinion piece with 3 different reasons as to why Bitcoin might be in the oversold position right now. The Bitcoin hash rate hit an all-time high in September. Bearing in mind that exchange market prices are ultimately seeking to evaluate fundamentals, the network's fundamentals are strong. In fact, Bitcoin's network hash rate marked a new all-time high in September. Yeah, even right now, the Bitcoin hash rate is at an all-time high. The amount of miners and the amount of power that's being put forward is extremely good. So the network is pretty good in that sense. It's just a good reason to, I guess, showcase. Or it's a good insight to use as to why it might be oversold. If the network is doing very well, then why are people selling it? Reason number 2, Bitcoin miners keep adding ASIC units and mining facilities. Again, this kind of combines with our earlier stated reason. In terms of mining, it's getting really more attention than almost ever. It's growing like crazy. The network is growing like crazy. It's becoming more and more secure. In terms of all these mining companies, they're also adding like crazy. I did see a couple of bankruptcies over the last couple of weeks. I'm honestly thinking that might have to do with Ethereum miners though, not so much Bitcoin, as not that much has changed. But it's still very interesting to watch how this is increasing ever so greatly. And then the fact, I guess reason number 3, is that institutional investors aren't backing down. We covered this before. Big behemoths like BlackRock actually just got into the space, and a couple of very big industry players have started to add exchanges or are starting to add different ways to buy Bitcoin. Again, BlackRock is a good example, but even NASDAQ is a very good example of players that are starting to get into this space because they see the demand. I'm not sure if that got cut off. We all know this smart money, or actually I should say institutional money is smart. And so the fact that they're going into this could be because they're doing it as a hedge because, well, one of the reasons why Bitcoin might not be oversold, but is actually at a pretty good point right now, is because in terms of stocks, and in terms of all assets, really, people are just more fearful than usual. It's at a really strange spot, and so it's also quite logical that people are getting rid of assets which are scarier to them. So for that reason, I am not too worried about anything because, well, this is a business cycle, eventually turns back around. And I guess at that point, we're going to all bear the fruits again because, well, we all know crypto will revive itself eventually. We can all understand as long as you keep buying your way down, you make profit on the way back up. And I guess that's kind of all you have to do. Just buy your way up. Or buy your way down. Just always buy, not financial advice. Our last piece for Bitcoin is this right here, where Mike Novogratz says this. Mike Novogratz says case for Bitcoin is playing out every day as the price plunges. He basically continues to see a strong bullish case for Bitcoin, as many fiat currencies keep losing their value against the US dollar. And so for a lot of people in a lot of different countries, it might be very smart to just buy yourself some Bitcoin. He's talking about things breaking due to the growing deficit and the fact that a lot of currencies out there in the world are doing very bad. Now, we can talk for a very long time about how monetary policy might influence the Bitcoin price. We all know that Bitcoin as a unit, as a thing, the idea is there for it to act as an inflation hedge. It's not done that completely just quite yet, but the idea is there. If we're now seeing the dollar grow this much, even though it's actually kind of on the verge of collapsing all the time, it really is not that stupid to potentially diversify as a bigger investor into a very potentially nice hedge. But alright, let's cover some altcoins as some interesting stuff is going on. First of all, breaking news. Shiba Inu new game in $15.71 billion market with 5% revenue burn for SHIB token. Apparently the SHIB team announces October 1st as the download date for the Shiba Inu Eternity game. That's a very big deal. Satoshi Kusama revealed that 5% of the Shiba Eternity revenue would be for burning SHIB tokens, and I'm honestly thinking that the Shiba Inu army is going to go absolutely wild because of this announcement. It's kind of unfortunate that I did not see it earlier, that there was a specific date set, but I can already just imagine the people over on Twitter and the people over on YouTube when I launched this video, just seeing that the game is actually there. And in terms of excitement, trending, or in terms of price, I honestly had expected a little bit more. The Shiba Inu price is not doing so well, even though a date has been announced, which is kind of crazy to me. But again, as we saw with Luna, the burn might have a lot of good effects again, as it's going to speed up the process of giving your tokens more value. And so all I can say about it is, that's very exciting. Talking about burn, however, Luna Classic investors react to CZ's 1.2% trading tax recommendation on Binance. Long story short is he said, well, whales will not trade with a 1.2% trading tax, which indeed is quite logical. So he says we will implement an opt-in button on the Binance exchange for people to opt in to pay a 1.2% tax for their Luna Classic trading. Now, from my own perspective, I'm thinking, who in the world is going to opt in to pay a 1.2% tax on trading something? You're basically shooting yourself in the foot every single time you make a trade, as there's a 1.2% deficit or tax every single time. I'm not sure exactly why you would do that. On the other end, it's also quite logical that they have a button to do this for some people, because some people might be philanthropic. They might want to do it for the network. But the majority of people really don't want to have anything to do with this, specifically the bigger whales who are trying to make money, the slightest bit of margins on every single trade. He also explained how if you're imposing this tax as a centralized entity, it's just more and more centralized, basically. He said, well, we need to keep it as decentralized as possible, if possible, and through this opt-in method, they are doing that. There was basically a small little discussion over on Twitter, as a lot of people said, please just impose it. And CZ said, it's not going to work if we do that. It's just a really bad idea. Then over on the Cardano front, something very interesting happened. Cardano creator claims Ethereum would have been better off with Snow White. The Snow White consensus solution would have allowed Ethereum to move to proof of stake at a much faster pace, according to Charles Hoskinson. And actually, this is just a little bit of a stab or jab at the lack of academic rigor following Charles Hoskinson's opinion. As of this point, the Ethereum price is indeed not doing so well after they migrated, I should say merged. And potentially that is because it took so long and the results are okay. Maybe if they'd done it a lot quicker, things would have been a lot better. In terms of Cardano's upgrade, people were very excited. Cardano's social metrics beat a 3-month record after the Vaso hard fork. So it's funny enough, kind of the opposite of what happened to Ethereum, even though the Cardano price is also not doing so well. The social metrics are up a lot, and that's maybe because Cardano has such a core community that people are very excited over these smaller pieces. Smaller pieces, it's a very big upgrade, it's a very big announcement, very nice thing. So it's getting a lot of enthusiasm for the Cardano people, including me. And then a little bit about Ripple. I'll talk about this a lot more in another video coming out later today. But Ripple lawsuit, here's a key point of SEC's argument per James Fillon. I just want you guys to sit here and listen to me for just 1 second. I've said it multiple times before, but I honestly expect Ripple to win this. And I've actually texted my friends today telling them, man, it's really not that stupid to just have some XRP. A lot of the people that I know are very much against it, but I think this is a very strange approach. I think if you have the insights that the majority of XRP community members do have, it's very strange to not hold any. And the reason I'm saying that is because in the US, the regulation is very, very strange regarding crypto. And I'm thinking, well, over the next couple of months, the winner could be decided, albeit Ripple, albeit the SEC. But at that point, and think about this, if Ripple does end up winning, it's going to be a very nice multiplier, most likely. And even though it's not going to be the 1000x that some meme coin holders hope for, they almost went my chair, there's a very good chance they're at least going to win, at least going to become victorious. And the moment that they do, if there's a multiplier like that, like we talked about before with our expected value, right, with our risk to reward analysis, let's say there's a 75% chance of winning with a 10x as a result. Albeit a 4x, it doesn't matter. And there's a 25% chance of losing with 0x as a return. You lose all your money. The expected value will be above 1. And since it's not that long term of a trade or way off or scenario, I'm honestly pretty excited, and I think it's a very, very nice idea to just buy some. Now, would it have been better if you bought at 17 cents, right after the lawsuit started or so? Sure. That would have obviously been easier, and that could have more easily resulted in a 100x. By the way, I'm sorry if the camera is a little bit laggy or stuttery. I'm trying to see, but I don't know how to fix it. It might be better if I just don't do a camera anymore while I'm out and about, but I'm going to be out and about for a little while, so I might just have to buy a new laptop, but this one is pretty new and it still doesn't handle a camera. How can it not handle a camera? What? But yeah, that was just my thoughts on as to why XRP is pretty nice to hold, to be honest with you. People might disagree, but honestly, I guess that's fine. Let people have their own opinions. I personally think it's pretty juicy, and I want to share that with you guys real quick, but yeah. That was it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'm wearing no long pants because, man, Dubai is freaking hot, as you guys know. So that was it for today's video. See you guys again in another one.